Welcome to my no code series where I'm building a not-for-profit platform from scratch. Today what I'm going to walk you through is how to build a DIY dashboard using no code, no tools, and link it into all the other stuff we've built. So jumping straight in, what we're going to do is we're going to start from a template, and that's my first tip. If you start from a template, you can save heaps of time on design and just layout of things. Then what you can do is, as you can see here, is delete little options of it, parts of it, change the text, all those kind of things. What you can also do, which I find quite handy, is add in data and just use the elements that you already have there. So you can see here, I added in the number of people that we've helped. And so you can see I'm filling out across here those little pre-made sections and adding things in. The next bit though, I run into a little bit of an issue. I have a data type in there that's set as a string, so it's text, and I need to change that to a number. So here's me going through Google, trying to find a solution to my issue. And so you'll see in a second, I go through a number of different avenues. I try to change the field here using code. I know it's outside the thing, but funny enough, I couldn't get it to work. So I keep exploring here, trying a few different things, copying some stuff across, going back in. You'll see in a sec, I Google again, see if I'm using the wrong code. But by the end of this little section, you'll see I end up not finding a solution through this path. So if you don't find a solution through this path, my next tip is find a workaround. So find some way just to get it to work so you can keep moving forward. So what I do is I copy those and I create two new columns exactly the same, and then I create them and set them as numbers rather than text. But my final bit of advice here is that by being able to move on with that approach, I actually found the overall solution where I was trying to refresh the data source. And so I was Googling how to do that. And in that refreshing the data source, I found out there's a way to actually change the type of the variable in Google Data Studio. So in the future, I won't run into that issue. So now what we'll do is we'll move on to the maps. So on the left, I'm doing the nurse to people ratio, so the countries with the lowest amount of nurses per people. And on the right, I've got where the not-for-profits impact, so you can kind of get an overlay of whether we're impacting the right areas. Now what I'm going to do is bring in the AI. So the AI is quite cool. You know, this is the thing that automatically picks up from our Google Forms. So when someone sends in a form, it'll analyze the sentiment of their responses and say how negative or positive they are. And so you can see here, I'm bringing in the right graph to show this. And so it goes from N+, which is the most negative, to P+, which is the most positive. And what I'm doing here is sorting it so it does that range. And so you can visually see it's kind of been an even split between negative and positive. Now what I'm going to do is a few last little tweaks. I'm adding in a table here, which will kind of show in a table form the above map. So you can see where we've had the impact and what the outcome's been with those little nice bar graphs. It's linked to the maps and all those maps are fully interactive. What I'm going to do now as well is clean up the dashboard in terms of the design. So I'm adding in like a little logo at the top. I'm going to try and like match the color to the logo so it looks kind of even, add in titles. But now what I'm going to do is just show you the maps quickly, and they're fully interactive and you can jump into them, and you can even jump into specific locations so you could kind of see specifically where you're having impact. Like here I've shown someone on a boat, but it's just a really cool feature that I like about these Google dashboards. Like they're super interactive like that. What I'm also going to show is that you can then, now that we've got this branded dashboard, we can embed it on our website so that it looks like it's something we've fully built and is kind of our own product versus a Google product, and kind of feeds into that platform. So what I'm showing you is I'm editing a blog post. I'll paste that code that Google gave us. I'll save it in here, and then I'll publish this, and we'll be able to jump straight into the website and see that now we kind of have our own custom-made dashboard on a website that we can use to share with people. So you can see here, again, it's fully interactive still. So I'll jump in a sec and kind of show you one of those pictures again. Like you've got the wonderful picture of people by a lake, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so now we've got an end-to-end dashboard that takes data from forms and surveys and sheets and funnels it all into a website where you can then share this to investors. So it's pretty cool. I'll share a blog post so you can look into this itself. But thank you so much for following me, and stay tuned for what I work on next.